the top story since he declared his candidacy. DT, Donald Trump, about to embark on a multi-million-dollar media blitz just ahead of the crucial first Republican with the caucus and then the primaries. And you'll remember that Mr. Trump has bragged often about building his lead on the Republican field without spending a dime of his own money. Let's bring in Boston Herald columnist and radio talk show host Adriana Cohen. Adriana, good to see you.
Great to be here.
He has done it all with social media for the most part and TV exposure on the likes of this network, Fox News as well. Does he need to spend money at this point? What does this say about where he thinks his campaign has to go?
I think it's remarkable that he's been able to dominate the polls for so long without spending the kind of money that, let's say, Jeb Bush has spent. If you compare the two, it's really incredible. And I think part of that is because Donald Trump is not politically correct, and he has captivated the country and the media in particular. So he sucked up all the oxygen in the room in terms of media coverage. But moving forward, he will have to run some attack ads, and so I'm actually glad to hear that he's going to be spending quite a bit of money to do that this
Does he
January.
need to run attack ads? Because that's what he's good at.
Right.
Is attacking his opponents. Maybe I don't know if we have sound yet, but he went right after Chris Christie when he was speaking last night in New Hampshire. We don't have it yet. We'll have it for you in a short while. But he goes right after Chris Christie and is mocking. But he's smart because Christie's moving up. He might not be in the lead, anywhere near in the lead in New Hampshire, but he's moving up and he goes right after him.
That's right. I mean, all these Republican candidates would love to win New Hampshire. It's the first primary. And Chris Christie just, got the coveted union leader endorsement, which was huge. And we see Governor Christie surging in the polls, not only in New Hampshire, but nationally. So he's very much in this race.
He went after the publisher of the newspaper in New Hampshire that endorsed Chris Christie, calling him names.
Yeah, you don't want to go after Joe. Joe McQuaid is a friend, and he's somebody that certainly has a lot of influence in New Hampshire with the union leader endorsement. If the election was held tomorrow, it would probably be Trump, Christie, Rubio in that order. That being said, it's not tomorrow. There's still time to err, or there's still time to improve. And Chris has gone from 1% up to probably 10, 11%, and you still have 43 days left. So it's not over in New Hampshire, and that is obviously where it starts, Iowa and New Hampshire.
Well, here's why Trump cares about Chris Christie. It's very obvious. If you look at the polling data, you have these three guys running for second place. Whoever gets second place in New Hampshire will be seen as the credible candidate, as the alternative to Trump. And so as a result, going into South Carolina and Florida, that person may be more of the establishment candidate as Trump continues or maybe falters. Right. And so that momentum is what Trump needs to prevent if he actually wants to win this nomination.
And the fact that
very clear.
And the fact that he's actually spending money, I'm not sure if that helps or hurts, because he's done so much without it. Now that he's going to spend millions in attack ads, he's going to be seen, I believe, in New Hampshire and other places as one of the guys, just like everybody else, spending money attacking instead of doing it.
And does it even work anymore?
Right.
Because if you look at the way digital and on-air spending works compared to 2012 and 2008, the effectiveness rates of airing stuff on television doesn't necessarily mean votes in the case of Trump, and also looking at it digitally.
I was at the gym last night, so I watched a chunk of this rally where he called everyone names.
Yeah.
There wasn't anybody. He was shocked. He was mocking Chris Christie when he was with the president of the United States after Hurricane Sandy. I think he said he was jumping around like a little boy, something to that effect. But I want to raise this issue with you, Adriana, because when I was down in rural Virginia, where I grew up, the question has now almost immediately turned to particularly people who are on the fence who don't care for Trump. Trump, Hillary, who would you vote for? Trump, Hillary, who would you vote for? And it's already gone there. They've just skipped right over the primaries with the assumption that he wins the nomination.
Right, and I can understand that because Donald Trump is leading by so much. I mean, the margin that he's on top is
as you move down
enormous.
Into the south in the polls over the southern states. Too.
It is enormous. But with Governor Christie, he's a solid moderate. So for Republican voters who, let's say, Trump doesn't appeal to them, they want a more measured, moderate candidate. Governor Christie could be a very good choice.
And there's still Ted Cruz, there's still Marco Rubio.
That's right. They're both moderates.
Still Iowa.
Right. Does Iowa matter? Does Iowa matter?
I don't think so as much. It really starts in New Hampshire. I'll quote Governor Sununu. In Iowa, they pick corn. In New Hampshire, they pick candidates. So.
well, not to disparage the fine people of Iowa, but we love
my wife and my wife's family are from Iowa. So.
But the reason Iowa could really matter, even if you believe that the New Hampshire primary is the real contest to look at, is that in Iowa, if Cruz wins in Iowa, Trump becomes in second. What will the reaction from Donald Trump be? How will he take that?
And
that is going to be very interesting to New Hampshire voter who's listening carefully to the substance and the actual debate of the policy issues.
Thank you so much, Adriana. It was
Great
good
to
to
be
see
here.
you. Thank you so much. Come back very soon. There's
Love
lots
to.
to talk about.
Yes.